motorsports. The Welsh countryside, usually a wet bog, always a test of tactics, will be a major factor. The conclusion of the 2003 season starts now. The Rally Great Britain. The 2003 World Rally Championship has been the most exciting in recent memory. We've had 13 events and 6 different winners.
Marco, where are you?
And with just the Wales Rally left on the calendar, the title of World Champion is still up for grabs. It could be Sebastian Loeb, the Spaniard Carlos Sainz, or Peter Solberg, but Richard Burns' hopes are over due to medical problems. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen. After all those rallies, all those stages, there's just 1 point between the remaining championship contenders. It's going to be a hard fight in the stunning Welsh countryside. The battle takes place in some of the greatest forest stages the world has to offer, and the action is as dramatic as the scenery. It's been the scene of triumph and heartbreak. It's slippery, muddy, tough, and tricky. If any rally can be called unpredictable, it's this one, and many a title hope has ended up on the side of the road. Rally HQ is in the capital of Cardiff, but most of the action takes place on forest stages, while the nail-biting climax will take place in the world-famous Margam Park stage. Sebastian Loeb has the least experience on this event, but he leads the championship due to 3 victories on tarmac and his superb performance on gravel this season. He's a quick learner and a great tactician. All he has to do is keep the others behind him, and the title is his.
It will be, I think, a difficult fight. We know Peter and Carlos are very fast here, and I think one of the 3 will have the title, but which one is difficult to say now.
Carlos Sainz has more experience here than his rivals. In both his world title years, 1990 and 92, he won the GB Rally, and he'd love to repeat the feat this year.
You know, the rallies is always difficult, and this rally especially, and you have to finish, you have to do not make a mistake. If you make a mistake here, you know, you lose the championship.
Peter Solberg had his debut win in Wales last year. Since then, there's been 3 more victories. And a huge boost in confidence.
It will be a good fight. I want a good, clean and nice fight. That's the most important thing.
Richard Burns' unfortunate withdrawal is a result of a blackout which he suffered at the wheel of his car last Sunday.
We don't know yet which type of illness he has, and this is why we'll be undergoing more tests next week.
On a happier note, Tommy Mäkinen is hoping to bow out of rallying in style. He's retiring after 17 years, 139 rallies, 24 wins, and 4 world titles.
It's been really unforgettable moments. Good friends, a lot of people around, traveling, seeing many different places, countries, people. It's been incredible done.
With more on how this shootout is going to shape up, let's check in at the service park with our speed analysts.
So here we are, Nikki Grist and myself, for the finale of the 2003 World Rally Championship in not very sunny Wales. But you say it's going to be sunny.
It's going to be sunny, I promise.
I hope you're right. Now listen, there were 4 drivers up for the drivers' title coming into Rally GB, but of course Richard Burns is not here because he's had a blackout and he's undergoing some tests. He's had to withdraw from the rally, so we've now got 3 drivers up for the title, which is going to be a fascinating fight. But we've also got to look at the manufacturer's title, the Citroën and Peugeot, with just a few points between them. What are their tactics going to be?
I think it's a difficult one for Guy Freckler at Citroën because he's got obviously 2 of his drivers going for their own drivers' championship. I'm sure that's what they'll be focusing on. And of course, from Citroën's point of view, he needs those guys at the finish to obviously score points and capture that elusive World Championship title for themselves.
Because both Peugeot and Citroën consider the manufacturer's crown far more important than the drivers, so they're not going to want the drivers to go flat out for wins, are they?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's going to be a nervous weekend for Guy Freckler.
It is. Now, you've been in that nervous position when you've been fighting for a World Championship title. What on earth does it feel like?
You know, when we look at what happened to Colin and myself a couple of years ago, we could have won the World Championship here. But of course, Colin went too quick, too early, tried to win the rally on the first day, and we end up having a massive accident and crashing out. And that's certainly from Petter Solberg's point of view. He can't win the championship unless he gets to the finish. So I think we're going to be seeing a very balanced approach for these 3 drivers to make sure they get to the end, because it doesn't matter who wins. It's just where they finish in relation to each other that's going to decide the championship.
Exactly. It's going to be the most fascinating weekend, isn't it? Really tense and very exciting. But I want to know who you think is going to win the rally and who you think is going to win the championship.
I think Marco Martin's going to win the rally. I think, but it's about time he had some good luck. The car's up to it, and I think he can win this rally. And he was fighting Petter Solberg for it last year. For the championship, I've just got a feeling that Carlos Sainz is going to be there. I think these Sebastian Loeb and Petter Solberg are going to be running off into the scenery now and again, and I think Carlos is just going to keep plugging away.
Oh, I think you're so wrong, because Petter Solberg's going to win the rally, and of course he's going to take the championship. You just watch and see.
Nothing like a little bickering between our analysts. Well, bold predictions they are, but we'll just have to wait and see. The fans will certainly be out in force for one of Britain's biggest sporting events. First to venture out into the famous breakfast stage, championship leader Sebastian Loeb. He's already flat out hoping his rivals can't match his pace, including his teammate Carlos Sainz. But the Spaniard's in trouble before the stage even gets underway. He's struggling with electrical problems caused by his onboard camera, which is smoking. Stay tuned, the drama has already begun.
Hold the bag?
No.
Please.
Carlos Sainz has seen his share of bad luck in the Rally GB. In 1998, just a few hundred yards from winning his 3rd championship, his engine let go. The title went to Tommy Mäkinen. Carlos's disappointment clear to see. At the start line this year, Carlos is still trying to fix his problems. And it means that Petter Solberg goes out on the stage before him. Last night in Cardiff, the Norwegian was quickest on the super special stage and emerged with a 3.3-second lead over Loeb. But this morning is where the real battle gets underway. Out in the Welsh forest, Solberg has no option but to try to match Loeb's pace. Last year in Wales, it was Marco Martin who was fighting with Solberg for victory. 12 months later, and there's a problem with his Ford Focus. The engine's boiling and is spewing oil everywhere. After this weekend, Marcus Grönholm will lose his #1 status, but he's determined to go out in style. He won here 2 years ago, and with the manufacturer's title at stake, Peugeot would love him to do it again this year. Citroën would love for Colin McRae to perform at his championship level. Peugeot have been champions for the last 3 years. But Citroën would love to claim the title. As for the driver's crown, Carlos Sainz finally gets his challenge underway. Despite his problems, he's 5th quickest and just ahead of Tommy Mäkinen's Subaru. This is the end of an era with the four-time world champion, starting his last ever WRC rally. Skoda started the season in the Octavia and will end it in the Fabia, but it's not been a great debut for the new car. Tony Gardemeister and Didier Auriol have really struggled to get into the points, and this weekend is no exception. After the first 4 stages, they're both way down the leaderboard. As for Peugeot, it's a new face in car number 2, with Freddie Loix taking the place of Richard Burns. He hasn't had much experience in this car, and it shows. He's down in 12th. That's not good news for Peugeot, and another one of their nominated drivers, Harry Rovanperez, also in the bottom half of the leaderboard. That leaves Marcus Grönholm as their sole campaigner. The Finns just 1 place above Sainz, but the real battle's at the top. Just over a second separates Solberg from Loeb.
Tricky conditions greet the crews in the second stage of the day. The roads have very little traffic for the majority of the year. This means the surfaces are very slippery in these wet and humid conditions. The roads are narrow and mostly very fast. At these high speeds approaching slow corners, the drivers must stay on the clean line to gain extra grip. This stage has thrown up a few dramas in the past, and in these conditions, there could well be some more.
Carlos Sainz will have to work hard to close the gap on his rivals after his earlier problems. But just after the start of the stage, a high-speed crash leaves his hopes of winning a 3rd World Championship title buried in a ditch.
It's a mistake. It can happen. I think that Carlos can understand very well the corner. But we arrived too much fast, I think so.
Sadly for Sainz, it's all too familiar territory. Reviving memories of 1998 when his championship hopes disappeared just yards short from the finish of the rally in Wales. Now that his teammate is out of the rally, Sebastian Loeb's under even more pressure to grab maximum points for himself and his team. There is absolutely no margin for error in this battle. The stakes are incredibly high. Petter Solberg's finding the stage far more slippery than he expected, and there are some real heart-stopping moments.
5 right minus long, tightens 4, keep in. Into 5 left minus, keep in of a crest, 60. Slow line into 4 right plus long, tightens of a bump, keep in 30. Short 10 in left, tightens, very slippy. And line into slippy, 2 right minus, tightens minus, opens 40. Long line into 2 left minus, tightens 1 minus tightens. And line into 6 right, opens half long of a crest, 40, slippy navy, 3 left plus, tightens 2 minus tightens. Opens 60, flat crest.
Meanwhile, 3rd place Marco Martin is battling with his engine problems. These 4 stages are slippery, and Marcus Grönholm's pace notes warn him that there are logs lying at the side of the road.
Ehkä pyöree tukki sisällä alussa. 150.
It's a big mistake by the double world champ. And it looks serious.
Oikein helppo risteys yli nypö. Ei saakeli! Vedä tuohon seisi, katsotaan mikä se on. Tuonne ylös vaan.
Grönholm's going slow enough that he's overtaken by Colin McRae, who started 2 minutes behind him. Still, the Finn is going as fast as he possibly can while keeping it under control. It's a stark contrast to Australia earlier this year, where Marcus had an incident and wanted to immediately quit. Remember, the Manufacturers' Championship is on the line here, and Marcus is the highest placed Peugeot right now.
Jatkuu Vaserin miinuskirraa. Pois. Mä en kyllä näe peilistä.
Eventually, he's forced to stop on the stage.
Sieltä crossmemberistä. Täällä on, se on irti toi koko tukivarsi tuolta. Hihna olisi kyllä hyvä.
The repairs get him through the stage and on to the next road section. But the damage is clear to see, and he's stopped by the police.
We cannot drive, no? Huh? You can't call it back to the You can't call it back to service. I can go. No, but I know I can. But if you allow me, no. Too dangerous. Yes, but I can go slowly.
Saying he was very stable and very tidy.
Yeah, I came up from breakfast, but no. No complaints. You drive normally. You can't call it back. But sorry. I understand that you say, but I can go. So I want to say the last word. Yeah, okay, but you're not going. Okay, I understood.
Apparently that double world champion tag doesn't do much with the local police. The police forced the retirement for Grönholm after just 3 stages. Despite his problems, Martin's third while the championship battle is heating up between Solberg and Loeb. As the rally leader heads for service, Citroen teammate Carlos Sainz make a dramatic announcement about his future.
You've had so much bad luck here in Wales. When's it going to end? Next year?
I don't know. At the moment, I just want to rest a little bit, and I think the season has not been too bad. And well, I hope we can do next year.
You seem to be quite philosophical about it. You're obviously very, very disappointed as well.
I'm disappointed, yeah, but what can you do? As I said, I hope next year we can do still well. I just decide that next year will be my last season, so I hope I can do a good.
You just decided right now that that's it for you next year. You've won both stages this morning, started in a very positive fashion.
Yes, we started very fast, and we have to do it because Peter is very fast too.
You have to build up the confidence because these conditions are very tricky. You can go off the road like this, and there you see what's happened with many of the other guys.
Carlos has gone off, as we know. Does that take a bit of pressure off you, do you feel?
No. Pressure is there all the time.
Marco, third after 3 stages, but some big technical problems for you. What happened?
I think we started to lose water from the engine immediately on the first stage, and luckily the engine managed to hold on 2 stages without water, and also the road section back. So we stopped many times in the road section to put more water in the car, but now it seems like it's getting really tired, and I'll be very surprised if it fires up again.
Surprisingly for Marco, the engine does fire up, but shortly afterwards his focus broke down and Martin became the 3rd top driver to retire from the rally.
You need to stay until Monday.
Join us after the break as the slippery conditions cause more havoc throughout the field. In the 3 years since the Rally of Great Britain has moved exclusively to Wales, the combination of the stunning countryside and the spectacular event has attracted fans from all over the world. It's a success story that the organizers want to build on. The ambition can only be helped by the incredibly exciting climax to this year's championship. After 3 stages, the leaderboard is still tight, as local resident Nikki Chris can attest to. Winning here takes something special.
The Wales Rally GB is a true high-speed test for man and machine, and whoever wins the World Rally Championship this weekend is really going to earn it. We've had 14 weeks of no rain this summer, and only in the last week have we actually seen any heavy downpours. This means the roads are far more stronger and tougher than they've ever been. Very little mud and a gravel base right close to the surface. This is going to make it exceptionally fast, and somebody who's trying is really going to benefit. The majority of this rally is made up of high-speed 5th and 6th gear, fast and flowing sections. But one of the major features is the camber on the inside of corners. This really helps the driver to carry much more speed through these sections. The racing line on this rally is not always on the road, but off the road. The guys that are on a real mission on this event will be cutting corners through all this summer vegetation. The inside line will always be the quickest.
The next two stages involve 75 kilometres of forest tracks. To make the rally more accessible for the fans, a road in the middle of the forest has been purpose-built around an old quarry for better viewing. Walters Arena, as it's called, allows the fans to watch their heroes on the twisty section all the way around a lake. For the drivers, the concern on these long stages is tyre choice. There's a danger of excessive tyre wear if they get it wrong.
Thanks, Nicky. For Freddie Loix, it's not just tires that he's got to think about. He's getting used to a completely new car, driving for Peugeot this weekend in place of Richard Burns. And this spin doesn't help. Freddie's nearly 4 minutes behind the leaders. He's 9th overall, and that means no points. Certainly proving to be a steep learning curve.
Freddie, how's your first morning going behind the wheel of the 206?
Very difficult, I have to say. This morning on the first 3 stages, I was a little bit lost. I never have been really clean. I can get where I want to be with the car sometimes. In the 3rd stage, I make a spin. We make some changes on the diffs, but I wasn't so confident with it. Now we went back. I don't know what I have to say. I'm on one side, I'm enjoying. I'm happy to be here. From the other side, it's exciting.
A lot to learn for you.
A lot to learn, yes.
Peugeot's hopes of winning the manufacturer's title for the 4th year in a row haven't been helped by Burns' absence and the retirement of Marcus Grunholm. Going into the rally, they trailed Citroën by 5 points. Their best placed driver right now is Harry Rovanperä. The Finn's currently in the points, but there's still 2 Citroëns ahead of him. One of them is in the lead, and the other belongs to rallying's biggest star, Colin McRae. This is his home event, and the place where he won his world title in 1995. And now he's locked in a battle with the man who won the title 4 years in a row between 1996 and 1999. That's Tommi Mäkinen. It's a remarkable record, and that's why they call the Finn a rally legend. He may be saying goodbye to the WRC, but he's doing it in style. He's flying through the forest of Riola and claims 3rd place overall.
Tommy, you seem to be enjoying your last rally.
Yeah, it is enjoyable to drive. No question of that.
There's a bit more pressure on his teammate, Petter Solberg. Locked in a battle for victory and the driver's crown with his rival Sebastian Loeb, the Norwegian has come out of service determined to hunt the Frenchman down. At just over 19 miles, Riola is one of the longest stages of the rally and is tough going for Loeb. The Frenchman has made the wrong tire choice in these slippery conditions, which means he's slower than Solberg through Riola, and the Norwegian snatches the lead. Solberg's now nearly 5 seconds out in front.
Although Loeb has lost the rally lead, Citroën look well placed in the battle for the manufacturer's title. Let's compare Loeb and McRae with their Peugeot rivals. Even though Loeb is on the wrong tyres, look how much advantage he's got over Harry Rovanperä after only 15 kilometres of Stage 4 Riola.
And with Freddie Loix way back in the distance, it looks like the title could be going Citroen's way.
Subaru are no threat at all to Citroen in the manufacturer's battle. But Petter Solberg's certainly the threat in the Drivers' Championship. On stage 5, he extends his lead to nearly 8 seconds.
Petter, you're leading the rally now. How was that very, very long stage for you?
It was good. Very, very slippery in some places. Incredible. And it's just, you have to be so careful sometimes. He can take you out so quickly, and but that's how it is.
Citroen came to Wales with a chance of winning 2 world titles, but the team have made it clear that their priority is to win the Manufacturers' Championship. To do that, all they need is for Loeb to finish. If he pushes for victory, he might just end up in the trees like Carlos Sainz. It puts the Frenchman in a huge predicament.
For me, it's difficult to know exactly how to drive because I know I have to finish for the Manufacturer Championship, and I want to fight for the title, so it's very difficult to know how to drive. And okay.
Have you been told by the team to take it easy? You've got to get those manufacturers' points?
A little bit, yes. I think, well, I don't know. He told me be a little bit careful, but push, so it's difficult to know what to do exactly.
Is it a decision for Guy Frecklin and Citroen Sport to make that Sebastian has to stay on the road and he can't fight 100% with Petter, or is it a decision that comes from Paris?
I spoke with Mr. Satines this morning, and we decided that it's the better situation because it's very important for the brand, and you know, it's very important after 13 rallies. We are in front, we are leader, and we need to keep this position.
Corrado, it's been a very eventful morning for you. What hope of winning the World Rally Championship for manufacturers now for Peugeot?
Oh, they are really vanishing for the reason you know. Marcus went off. For the reason you knew before, Richard not being with us. And it's true that our chances of keeping the title for us are almost gone.
And what about Citroen? What if they win?
If they win, they would have deserved it. No problem. They have been so far better than us.
With Sebastian Loeb and Colin McRae so well placed and Peugeot struggling, some might think Citroen are being a little overcautious, and that could play into the hands of Petter Solberg in his quest for the individual title. Skoda's Tony Gardemeister has had a really bad day to open the Wales Rally GB. First he had a water leak, and then he left service late and picked up a time penalty. Then on the day's final forest stage, he loses his active transmission, leaving him with only 50% traction. These slippery stages certainly haven't been any fun for this Finnish driver. Ford have got just one Focus left in the event, and that belongs to Francois Deval. It's been a tough day for the Belgian. He's only 7th. Having missed the last few tarmac rallies, Harry Rovanperä is a bit rusty. But the Finn seems to be getting into his stride on the second run through Riola. Rovanperä moves in front of Gilles Panizzi, who's in a non-works Peugeot, to claim 5th. Colin McRae is doing a great job for Citroen on his home event. Still 4th, the Scot is chasing Tommy Mäkinen for a podium place and helping Citroen towards their ultimate goal, the manufacturer's title. But Mäkinen will be pushing really hard to stay in front of McRae. If he can do that, he might be sharing the podium with a potential new world champion, his teammate, Petter Solberg. But on stage 6, the Norwegian runs into problems. The tread of his tire has come apart, flailing around and causing incredible damage to the car's bodywork. That's allowed Sebastian Loeb to close the gap on Solberg and revive his chances of winning the world title. After 6 stages of Wales Rally GB, Solberg leads now only by 6 seconds. Meanwhile, Subaru teammate Tommy Mäkinen is really enjoying his final rally.
Tommy, you may be retiring at the end of this rally, but you're still very, very fast.
No, it's been a good day, enjoyable to drive. Of course, in the morning, the first 2 stages was very, very slippy, and then it dry up a little bit. Last 3 stages they've been much better, and so quite enjoyable to try.
Sebastian, it's been a very exciting first day to the rally. What are your thoughts on it?
Yes, it was a big battle between Peter and me. So for the moment we are 6 seconds behind. It's not very much when you look at the 2 long days which are coming. So we have we will try to continue like this, try to keep the pressure on him, and we'll see.
Well, what an amazing first day. All the top entries being blown completely apart. But there's one championship contender that got it completely wrong, and that's poor old Carlos Sainz. Although saying that, there's another championship contender that's not complaining, and that's Petter Solberg, and he's with me. Now, Petter, can you sum up your day for us?
Well, it's been quite difficult. It's difficult conditions, good fight with Sebastian, and you also get the respect of what happened with Carlos and all the other drivers this morning when they went off. But still, you know, I'm leading, and the only bad thing, we lost 15 seconds on the last stage with a puncture, and that's all. Without that, it could have been very, very good.
Okay, well, you've got another 2 stages to go. Has it changed your approach to this rally from now on?
No. I'm starting steady as I do every rally, and I increase the speed all the time. And if you have a fight on the last day, I will flat out.
Well, good luck, Petter. Good luck. You've heard it from him, the man himself. I think the next 2 days are going to be very interesting.
Interesting indeed, Nicky, with Loeb and Solberg slugging it out. Day 2 from the Welsh Forests are next.
Day 2, and we're just 228 competitive kilometres from finding our new World Rally champion. We started off with 3 contenders until Carlos Sainz crashed out yesterday, leaving just Petter Solberg and Sebastian Loeb to fight it out amongst themselves. Sebastian Loeb, though, has been told by Citroën to play it safe to ensure that they take the manufacturer's title. But none of these drivers are happy to drive at anything less than maximum attack. So let's just hope they both keep it on the road, unlike Marcus Gronholm and Marco Martin, who both retired yesterday. Weather-wise, well, there's a little bit of drizzle expected on the higher ground. It will be overcast for most of the day, with some chance of sunny outbreaks.
For Loeb and Solberg, this battle is going to take place as much in their minds as on the stages. They'll need 100% concentration, all their skill and all the mental and physical strength they can muster to come out on top. It's going to be a great fight. Just 8 seconds separate the title contenders on this rally, but that's nothing. Backing them up are their respective teammates Tommy Mäkinen and Colin McRae. Day 2 is cold and damp, making it even more important that the 2 leaders stay fully focused.
I think I have to continue to push, perhaps not at the maximum, but it's important to push, to stay concentrated, yes, so okay, for the moment, I will try like this and we'll see after.
It's going to be interesting with the weather now, and if it starts to rain, it will be very interesting to see which tire he has been taking and what I have been taking. But we will see. It's going to be tough.
You think the 2 younger drivers ahead of you have got the mental strength to keep going like they did yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. They've proved it. You know, they've already done it this year before, so I wouldn't think there'd be any problem there.
You're waiting in the wings though if they do make a mistake.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't wish that in any of them. I hope they both have a good fight all the way to the end.
Rally HQ is in the capital of Cardiff, while today's action takes place in the classic Welsh Forest stages, where any mistakes will prove costly. Loeb and Solberg will have to wait their turn to get out on the stages as the crews go out in reverse order. First out, Tony Gardemeister, and his Skoda's already in trouble. His Fabia has major problems. The clutch is slipping.
No niin, 200.
Pressure drops, meaning the fin can't go at full speed. Garnemeister's now more than 16 minutes behind the leaders.
Tony, you've got the hazard lights on. What's wrong?
We have no any diffs, and now we don't have any clutch, and I don't know, because we can't maybe start anymore up there because we are uphill. And they stop us, and I try to go straight from here a little bit, but now...
Garnemeister's teammate Didier Auriol has fond memories of Wales. He won his 1994 world title here, but there's not much to celebrate in 2003. This spin into the ditch cost him 2 minutes, but it's academic. This rally is merely turning into a test for the new Fabia, and this go to drivers. This is how it should be done. Colin McRae is a local hero and a master on these classic forest stages.
On these fast and slippery surfaces, it's vital to keep the car in as straight a line as possible. There's always a clean racing line, where the drivers will gain extra grip. He's a true role model for any up-and-coming rally driver.
Tommy Mäkinen's ahead of McRae in third place. If Tommy can hold on, he'll claim a podium finish on his last ever rally. By the time Sebastian Loeb starts, 13 cars have been through Kraken. Those ahead of him have swept the gravel off the surface, exposing a greasy line beneath. The Frenchman's finding it very slippery, slipperier than he thought.
I thought the stage will be nearly completely dry, and you have a little bit hard compound. It was very slippery.
Championship rival Petter Solberg's on the same tire compound and facing the same treacherous conditions.
2 right minus tightens. Keep right of a long crest. Okay.
It was slippery, Phil. Oh, they're muddy.
A couple of places there, especially the one by that tractor.
Very dodgy conditions, very, very slippery. And I did a big mistake in there. I was saying about flat all the whole way, and I changed down to 4th gear. I misunderstood something, but that's how it is.
Doesn't seem to have slowed you down.
Well, everything can be better.
Despite that mistake, Solberg goes 4 seconds quicker than Loeb to increase his lead. And keep your eyes on the battle between the two living legends of rallying, Tommy Mäkinen and Colin McRae. Stay with us, we'll be right back. See what all the noise is about every Tuesday night at 10:30. It's Two Wheel Tuesday. Join Greg White and the gang to get your bike fix. On then to Stage 9 in Wales, which, as we've seen in the past, has some very unique challenges.
This stage was the most talked about in last year's event. In particular, it was the surfaces that this test uses and the problems it caused. The start is on a classic forest gravel. At 10 kilometers, the route passes onto the Epent Army training area. Here, the surface changes to tarmac for a very tricky 2 kilometers. It's difficult enough with a car set up for this surface. In a car on gravel tyres and soft suspension, it's really unnerving. It's not a stretch of road you can take for granted. Last year, Marcus Grönholm was sharing a joke with his co-driver, and look what happened.
Still worried that his tires are too hard, Sebastian Loeb enters halfway and faces the difficult tarmac section.
He's tightening his seatbelt. He's definitely unnerved. I don't think we can expect him to be the bravest on this section. On his soft gravel tyres, he has to be very careful. They have far less grip than he'd like. He has to steer and brake conservatively. He doesn't want to end his rally just here.
Next up, Petter Solberg. He too is on a hard compound tire.
To slow, keep very left of a crest, 40 needs to be, 4 right minus 9 to 30.
Petter Solberg wants to win his first World Championship, and he's a man on a mission. He's pushing harder than Loeb. Oh, a bit of a mistake there. And he knows it. Now we have a really fast section here. Just look, he's still aggressive. And much later on the brakes.
Opens 30.
If we put the cars together on the gravel section of the stage, there's not much between them. But you can see how much more cautious Loeb is when they get onto the tarmac. It's only when Solberg makes his mistake that Loeb can make up the lost ground. Fortunately for Solberg, he's not made too many of these mistakes.
The Norwegian is now nearly 15 seconds ahead of Loeb. His Subaru teammate Tommy Mäkinen is also edging farther away from Colin McRae. Before the second run through these two stages, there's some time for the drivers to catch their breath and to admire Tommy Mäkinen's new driving shoes.
What about those boots? You going disco dancing tonight?
Well, I'm not tonight. Maybe Sunday night. I'm sure they're gonna be good in there.
Maximum attack boots.
Yeah, they actually our only one pair which is lightweight pair, and they seems to react very, very quickly for throttle and brake.
It's good to see a rally legend go out with a smile on his face and some style. Rally Wales returns in a minute. It was Rally Wales in 2001 when Richard Burns came home in third to claim his first WRC Championship title before leaving to join Peugeot. Despite the bitter cold that set in, the fans have packed the stages. Unfortunately, countryman Richard Burns isn't running this weekend after becoming ill. One of the drivers they have come to see, though, is Colin McRae. Despite this tricky tarmac section, the Scot is absolutely flat out.
50, here, left tightens 50, here, left tightens it, narrows over crest, into right tightens to 3 plus, into 6 left.
There's a manufacturer's championship at stake. McRae wants to end the season in style.
120, here, slight left over jump, keep in, and slight left over crest. Opens long, into 6 left over crest, 30, 5 right plus into clear, 5 left minus over crest, braking and turn to right, narrows, don't touch.
And don't forget, Colin's chasing Tommy Mäkinen. These are two of the most famous drivers in rallying history, and the battle's heating up for third. Cold driving shoes and all, the Finn's thoroughly enjoying himself on his last ever WRC rally, and he's on the absolute limit, or as Tommy coined the phrase, maximum attack. While the hard-charging veterans are fighting it out for the final podium place, there's another battle going on between rallying's rising stars. Sebastian Loeb would love to match the pace of Petter Solberg through the second run through Kraken and halfway stages. But he's been told not to take any risks by Citroën management, who want that manufacturer's title. Solberg sets the quickest time on stages 10 and 11 to extend his rally lead to nearly 25 seconds.
Keep left of a crest. Half long, tightens a bit. 40. Flat crest. Tightens a bit, flat crest.
Well, you must be very, very happy with your performance this morning. You've won every stage so far.
Yeah, so far so good, and at the same time I have a wrong tire choice and too hard. It's not bad, so it feels good.
Do you feel in some ways that the way you're behaving in a very mature way on this rally that Citroën have to win the manufacturers, it's just a reflection of how important it is to Citroën to win and also how important teamwork is?
No, sure, it's for Citroën most important is to win the manufacturer championship, and if we can win it, it will say that all the team made a very good job, because it's the first time we are doing the all championship, and I think that's a very good thing for Citroën.
11 stages down of WRC Wales Rally GB, and it's Subaru versus Citroën for first place and Subaru versus Citroën for third. After the break, it's the world-famous Markham Park stage. Stay with us here on Speed Channel, the home of the World Rally Championship. The British round of the WRC is a classic. Run since the 1930s, it's one of the oldest and most prestigious rallies of the year. The unique forest stages make this one of the most technically demanding events. Winning is a matter of honor and guarantees a victor a place among rallying's elite. Past winners include Roger Clark, Ari Vatanen, Markku Alén, and Juha Känkkönen. Despite often dismal autumn weather, the fans just can't keep away. This is where championships have been won and lost, and drama is always guaranteed. Up next is another legendary test.
Next up, the two Markham stages, with the most famous landmark of the entire rally. Markham Park is also the final stage of the event tomorrow, so it's a chance for the crews to fine-tune their pace notes. The finishing stretch of this stage will be familiar to many. The grounds of Markham Park makes it a great vantage point for the thousands of fans. The roads have dried out dramatically today, and the cars will kick up dust in this test instead of mud.
It's been a baptism by fire for Freddie Loix in his first ever competitive drive for Peugeot, but he's finally gotten the 206 into the points. Freddie is 7th. Francois Duval is the sole Ford survivor, and he's 6th overall. Fifth place for Harry Rovanpera is not enough to salvage Peugeot's chances of holding on to the manufacturer's title. Back to the front in that exciting battle between Colin McRae and Tommy Mäkinen. The British fans adore McRae. They've turned out and forced to support him, and there's nothing he likes more than to put on a show. He'd love to catch Mäkinen on this stage.
McRae is on the verge of his retirement from the sport, and his performance today has shown that he wants to go out in style. It's definitely a marked improvement on his recent results. I'm sure that neither he or Tommy Mäkinen wants to finish second to each other. Tommy is also bowing out of the sport after this event, and he's one who's also found some new enthusiasm. This is some real classic Tommy Mäkinen. The four-time world champion is locked in a fierce battle with McRae for a podium place. And the speed of some of these stages are very similar to what he has back at home. Before this stage, Tommy was 10 seconds up on McRae. It looks like it's going to be nip and tuck. There's not much between them. But just 0.3 of a second quicker. Mäkinen still keeping him at bay.
Sebastian Loeb really needs to gas it up if he is to have any chance of catching Petter Solberg at the Norwegian steady run of stage wins.
He's been told to back off in his championship battle to make sure he finishes this rally and pick up the manufacturer's title. For a world-class driver, that's very difficult to judge the pace. It's so easy just to fly off the road. It looks to me like he's pushing hard, but he's certainly not going to be taking any risks.
Solberg's won all 5 stages today, and if he can win a 6th, his lead will start to look unobtainable.
Line into 3 left plus.
Loeb's team orders allowed Solberg to steadily build his lead through the day. He started this stage 24.8 seconds in front. He'll want to build on that for sure.
Cut half long, so quarter splash, 100. Crest, 60. Right to the small bumps.
There's certainly no danger in these park stages. It's straight line and as quick as you can to the finish. That's another 6.5 seconds faster. It's looking almost comfortable.
Petter, you just won another stage and extended your lead by 6.5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm taking everything very, very serious. You know, I'm not trying to, be happy and satisfied with what I've done. You know, we have to go and do everything like we should be on 15th place and try to be very, very serious. So it's good fun, really good fun to drive, and I just hope I can come here tomorrow and be very, very happy.
After 13 of the 18 stages of WRC Wales Rally GB, Solberg is on course for victory in the bigger prize of the World Championship. Stay with us here on Speed Channel. As the crews prepare for the final 4th stage of the day, the temperature in Wales has dropped. Colin McRae is relishing his battle for 3rd with his old rival Tommy Mäkinen, and the fight is going right to the finish. Colin would love to beat Tommy one more time, but there's nothing Mäkinen would love more than to be on the podium. The 4-time world champ is trying hard not to give up his 3rd position. Let's compare his time with McRae through resolving. It's going to be close. Mäkinen slower, and the gas reduced to just 6.4 seconds. At 27 miles, this is a long stage, but a 30-second deficit is a lot to make up for Sebastian Loeb. The Frenchman can only hope that Solberg has problems or makes a mistake. Cheered on by his fans, the Norwegian has won every stage of the day, and what a remarkable result it would be for him to win Resolving as well.
130, slow line into 6 left half long, keep in number small crest, 22 right minus tightens a gap, tightens cut, slippy, opens half
Solberg's hit a huge hole and he's badly damaged the steering, and he's only a half mile into this monster stage.
Black crest, 500, just try it. Something cut early narrow, 6 right plus.
With 26 miles remaining, it's unbelievably nerve-wracking for Petter.
line into 4 right.
The question is, will it affect his rally lead?
Early 6 left bus, keep bevving in and unseen, flat 6 right bus, 6 left bus, opens 80.
Remarkably, despite that heart-stopping moment, Solberg's still 9.5 seconds faster than Loeb, and he extends his lead even further.
I hit a massive hole inside, and I hit it straight through the left suspension and wheel, and steering is bent and vibration, and I thought I should never go through the stage. That was lucky, and I thought I lost a lot of time, and I did a lot of mistakes after that, and incredible. I never thought I should come through.
This time you had a bit of luck. Normally you don't.
It went actually well, but still, you know, I was lucky. Incredible. I thought the rim and everything was like that. So.
Petter Solberg just has to stay out of trouble, and the world title will be his. But there's a real battle for third between Mäkinen and McRae.
Colin, you seem to be enjoying this big battle with Tommy Mäkinen.
Yeah, it's probably not what we should be doing, but that's good.
Do you feel that you and Tommy have still got something to prove?
Well, we've never actually had a good battle all the way to the end. Something's always happened to one of us. You know, through all the years of competing together, we've never had a good one all the way to the end, so maybe this is it.
Well, Colin McRae says he's looking forward to a very big battle with you tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. It will be a good day. Good day. It's good to see what happened. It's still long stages in the forest. Weather might be a little bit more difficult tomorrow. It's good to see what happened.
Sebastian, at this point in time, it looks like second place tomorrow for you.
Yes, I think now we lost a lot of time of Petter, and it will not be possible to come back. So I will try to keep this position and to finish the race tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
For many people, Petter Solberg was the favourite for the World Championship when he came into this rally. Today, he's shown us exactly why. He's been fastest on all 7 of the forest stages. There is rain forecast, and for Petter Solberg, there is 56 very slippery stage miles to go until he can get his hands on that world title.
Everything have to go after the plan, and I have to have a little bit luck at the same time, so nothing happens. But I'm gonna do the same speed I've done today, and not try to change anything. And then we have to cross our legs, arms, and fingers, and everything. All of you.
While the World Championship pressure is on Petter, his teammate Tommy Mäkinen has been absolutely mobbed in service by fans, hoping to get one last autograph from the retiring legend. Tommy's final drive, and who will become the 2003 World Champ next. It's just before dawn on the final day of the Wales Rally GB and the climax of the 2003 season. Today, both the drivers' and manufacturers' titles will be decided. It's a tense morning for Citroën and Subaru. Petter Solberg is the favorite to become the new world champ, but he'll have to be careful. Citroën's Sebastian Loeb is right on his tail. Tommy Mäkinen's trying to lock up third place, but he'll have to fight for it. Colin McRae's pushing him hard. Just 6 seconds separate McRae and Mäkinen, while up ahead, Petter Solberg has a healthy lead going into the final 3 stages. Out in the forest, it's raining and it's foggy, and that usually means an advantage for Subaru with their Pirelli tires. And there's nothing the retiring Tommy Mäkinen would love more than to end his career standing on the podium.
Tommy, this is your very, very last day of World Rallying ever. How do you feel?
Well, it is. I just try to concentrate to big battle with Colin. It seems to be quite difficult weather. It seems to be some rain and some slippiness, and so now it is big question which tire we should have, and should we change the setup of the car, and so not so easy.
it's very close with Tommy. It would be great to finish on the podium and to beat Tommy in a straight fight to the end, but it's not going to be easy. But we'll try.
The fight for the biggest prize is up ahead. Sebastian Loeb came here leading the championship, but his team told him to back off to guarantee the manufacturer's title for Citroën. Loeb did as he was told, and Solberg's taken full advantage, winning all of yesterday's stages to open up a commanding lead.
Sebastian, Petter Solberg is 40 seconds ahead of you. He needs to make a big mistake for you to win today.
Yes, sure. The gap is important now, and it will be difficult to come back. But okay, it's I know now that a rally is never finished before the end. Catalonia, we were leading with 50 seconds before the 3 last stages, and we lost everything.
Petter, this is the biggest day of your rally career. How did you sleep last night?
Not very good, but it doesn't matter. You know, it's I'm good form.
It's also a big day for Solberg's Welsh co-driver, Phil Mills. Victory today means he'll be crowned World Co-Driving Champion in front of the home crowd.
I carry the Welsh flag in my helmet and so on. Very proud to be Welsh. And with a chance of winning the World Rally Championship on home soil, quite a special feeling.
But Mills and Solberg haven't won the title just yet. A misfiring engine adds to the tension at the start of the day. And remember, Petter has got to finish ahead of Sebastian if he's to have any shot at the crown. Stay tuned, there's still a lot of time before this rally and the 2003 championship will be decided. It's just before 8 o'clock in the morning on the final day of the Wales Rally GB. It's damp and foggy, but Colin McRae isn't phased. He's very familiar with these stages and is relishing his fight for third with Tommy Mäkinen. With just 3 stages to go, the Scott's been given strict orders by his team to make it to the finish. There's a manufacturer's title at stake. Today marks the last time we will see Tommy Mäkinen competing in the World Rally Championship. Even the 4-time world champ gets nervous. That's because he's changed the setup of his Subaru before tackling Rondo. No problem. Mäkinen's faster than his old rival McRae, and he increases the gap to nearly 9 seconds.
I was very nervous before the start. We made little change to our car setup, and it was behaving a little bit different way, and I was a bit scared about. I thought maybe we're gonna lose a little bit. I couldn't find best feeling to go flat out to everywhere.
Well, let's look at the battle up front. Sebastian Loeb's target is the finish. The Frenchman is trying to keep a good rhythm in the hopes that Solberg will make a mistake. Petter's misfire in the Impreza's engine is now cured, but still, in these tricky conditions, the Norwegian's playing it safe, and he's 5 seconds slower than Loeb's are.
The extra long back 6, 100.
The conditions in the stage are a bit tricky. How did you find it?
It's very difficult, very difficult, and yeah, I've chosen very safe tire, you know, just to not take any risks at all. So it's the only way to do it.
It's been a frustrating rally for Skoda's Tony Gardemeister, but the Finn's desperate to finish the event. It all ends in disaster. After sliding wide into this ditch, Gardemeister retires. Francois Duval has only contested this rally twice, but on each occasion he's retired early on the opening leg. He's doing much better this year and is on course for points. Harry Rovanpera started this morning as the leading Peugeot driver. Finn is aiming to end the year with a good result. But Rovanpera runs into trouble through Ronda. He's got transmission issues with his 206. He's forced to retire 6 miles into the stage. Freddie Loix is the last remaining Peugeot, and it's been a tough weekend for the Belgian on his debut with the French team as he tries to come to grips with the car. It's a silly mistake from Loix on what has been a difficult learning curve this weekend. But following his teammate's retirement, Peugeot had virtually handed the Manufacturers' Championship over to Citroën, while they're still defending their decision regarding team tactics. Citroën have been criticized for stopping Loeb from going full out for the world title, and their decision has even surprised French rivals Peugeot.
I think our reign on manufacturer was already over since Richard couldn't take the start of the rally, and immediately after when Marcus went off in the stage number 3.
Do you think maybe, with hindsight, it was the wrong decision to slow Sebastian down earlier in the rally?
Why it's a wrong decision? It's not a wrong decision, it's the right decision. We can't have the problem, we can't take this risk. And then Sebastian don't lose very much time. I just tell him that he need to stay on the road, only this, not to slow down.
Sebastian, well, finally Citroën have said you can attack Petter Solberg and try and win the rally. Is that a bit late in the day?
Yes, I think it's a bit late. 1 second per kilometer of Petter is impossible. He was very fast. Yes, sure, the team order changed a little bit my mind, and it was not easy after that to push and to be in the same conditions that I was before.
Have you been told by Citroën to back off a bit to allow Sebastian to attack Petter Solberg?
Yeah, that's the case this morning. It was a bit of a surprise. Basically, we were told to stop pushing, stay where we were, and let Sebastian try and push now, which I just think the team orders were a bit premature at the start of this rally, and then to come up with that this morning is a bit crazy.
Petter, 2 stages to go. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a little bit stressful and like it should be, but I was driving like my son now, I think, you know, it was it was not very good actually now. I'm not gonna try any hero things now. I'm gonna keep it steady.
Keep it here on Speed Channel. The Rally GB continues in a minute.
Now that Loeb has been let off the leash, we'll see what he's got to offer on the last 2 stages of the rally. This is the second run through Ronda, so he knows what the conditions are like, and he's well known as a quick learner. As the majority of this stage is really fast, he will hope to make use of the Citroën's power advantage over Subaru. In the battle for 3rd place, Tommy Mäkinen will be concentrating hard. He won't want to let McRae catch him now.
In all the years these two legends have competed against one another, it's surprising they've never had a battle that's gone right to the end of a rally. And McRae is pushing all the way to the finish. But he's got to beat this man for a podium position. What a retirement party it would be if the 4-time world champ stood alongside his Subaru teammate on the podium. What a great save. Tommy may be retiring, but he still has plenty of skills. Sebastian Loeb's concerned that the gap to Solberg is just too big with just over 26 competitive stage miles left. Once again, the Frenchman's very quick on the second run through Ronda. The problem is, when Petter Solberg's in his zone, he's hard to beat. The Norwegian is calm, cool, and collected, despite the really slippery conditions, and his Subaru is fast.
Extra long crest into flat early 6 right plus, slippy maybe.
For the second stage in a row, Solberg loses a little time to Sebastian, but he's still in control.
140.
17 stages down of the WRC Wales Rally GB, and the margin's now 32.5 seconds, and there's just one stage to go. That stage is the dreaded Markham Park, and Solberg will remember what happened here in 1998. After the retirement of championship leader Tommy Mäkinen, Carlos Sainz was on course to claim his third world title. But just yards from the finish, the Spaniard's car seized up, and his championship hopes were over. It was the best phone call Tommy could have wished for. The world title was his, while Carlos suffered in silence.
For Nick's picks, the first choice has to be Petter Solberg.
Back crest through Wales, 60, crest 30, turn unseen, hairpin right, late tape. Slippy maybe, opens, 30. Flat right of a crest, 80. Flat 6 left plus, half long, 80. Flat 6 right plus, 60. Keep flat left of a crest, 60. Caution line into don't cut late early, 3 right plus, tightens minus. Keep in to 4 left minus, tightens. Half long, opens to flat, extra long, 100. Early 6 right plus, keep in, 40. Line into cut, 4 left minus, tightens, 3 plus. Opens, 50. Line into early 4 right, keep in. Opens flat long, 100. 6 left plus long of a crest. 6 left plus long of a crest, 60. Early 6 right plus, keep in, 40.
And another guy who's had a fantastic weekend, who is retiring at the end of this year, Tommy Mäkinen.
Oikein plus, kameportti aukeaa, risteys oikein ja pirun pitkä vasen täys 5. Huomio pitkä vasen nopea plus, pidä sisällä dos, aukeaa 5. Portti jatkuu, pirun pitkä oikein nopea plus, helppo dos, aukeaa 100. Pirun pitkä helppo oikein aukeaa yli, portti lopussa tarkasti 120 alas. Pitkä vasen nopea 5. Oikein 45. Pitkä oikein tiukka 4. Oikein eri plus 3. Pirun pitkä K vasen. Pirun pitkä K oikein miinus helppo alku ylös, puut sisällä kirraa tiukka 10. Pirun pitkä vasen nopea miinus.
And finally, it's going to be Colin McRae, who was locked in a fierce battle the whole rally with Tommy Mäkinen.
Open. And 6 left. And 6 right. Into 5 left minus. Opens and takes to 4 plus. Opens to 6 crest, 100. Right takes to 3 plus, don't touch. Into 6 left over crest. Into 6 right, open 30. Right and 3 left plus, tightens, don't touch. Into 6 right over crest. Into 6 left, tightens and crest and clear, 4 right. And 6 left.
We'll be right back for the finish of the Wales Rally Great Britain, right here on Speed Channel.
Into 6 crest and 6 left, tightens, 17 turn, 3 left, turn.
Welcome back to the WRC's Wales Rally GB and the exciting finale to 2003. Markham Park is next. This is where Petter Solberg claimed his first ever World Rally win last year. 12 months later, and he's on course to become world champion. He's got an army of fans. He's one of the biggest personalities in the sport, a true superstar in the making. This season, he turned his potential into wins in Cyprus and Australia. His championship hopes look to be over in Corsica after a big crash during the shakedown before the rally even began. His mechanics did an amazing job fixing the Subaru, and Petter bounced back to claim his first ever victory on tarmac. Now he finds himself just one stage away from a World Championship title.
One stage and 12.6 kilometers to go. This will be the most agonizing 7 minutes of rallying for Petter Solberg and his Subaru team. Petter has to concentrate simply on driving and keep his mind off the celebrations he should be having later this evening. The slightest mistake from him and he will open the door for Sebastian Loeb. For Subaru, a mechanical failure will mean all the hard work through the year will be wasted.
Considering there's so much at stake, the top drivers all look remarkably relaxed.
It's going to be very interesting, but still 12 kilometers to go. Look at Carlos, he broke down after 300 meters before the finish, so you should never say never.
Colin McRae starts the stage 10.2 seconds behind Tommy Mäkinen, so he's going to need a bit of luck to catch him and claim the final podium place.
4 right minus cut and 6 left over crest opens. What's happened? Problem with the front wheel. 6 left.
But Colin's got a problem. He's picked up a puncture in the right front tire after running over a rock.
Left and tightens alongside.
McRae doesn't have a ride in the WRC next season, and this is not the way he wanted to end his career in the sport. There's nothing his team can do as they watch the television pictures of the final stage. All Tommy Mäkinen has to do is stay out of trouble on his final drive, and that podium position is his.
Vähän liukas, pitkä oikein nopea, miinus vähän helppona. 3.
Tommy momentarily loses concentration after discovering that McRae's in trouble. Fortunately for Tommy, it doesn't cost him too much time. McRae got going again, and now he's going through Markham Park with the finish line not that far off.
I've enjoyed it, all in all. It's been a bit of love-hate relationship with this one, I think. But it was a good battle with Tommy, and yeah, good finish.
Tommy Mäkinen cruises to the finish. Ending his rallying career in style.
Se vähän pyörähti.
Ei kun mitään kolini, onko kolini, oliko se pysähtynyt?
Niin ne ainakin sanoo.
Tommy Mäkinen, 4 times world champion, on the podium one last time. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's incredible feeling. Very good feeling, and especially also because I think our teammate is coming very well last stage, and he's gonna win the title. It's incredible.
At the finish, Tommy has one last joke with Colin, but for his teammate Petter, there's 8 miles of seriousness ahead.
We break one off complete and start the engine.
final stage of Wales Rally Great Britain, and second to last through Markham Park is Sebastian Loeb. He's followed by the rally leader, Petter Solberg.
Line into 2 right minus tightens. Opens 40. Line into 5 left plus tightens.
The Frenchman's aware that Solberg's lead is a healthy one, and he can only hope that the Norwegian makes a mistake. Sebastian also has to make sure that he gets through Markham Park safely.
I'm happy to finish second. I think for my first season in World Championship, it couldn't be better. I couldn't expect so much, and I'm very happy for all the team to win the Manufacturers Championship.
His team boss looks happy as well. Petter Solberg just has to keep his cool for a few more minutes.
40 to crest into 30 to 1 right minus, don't cut, to water splash, 100, crest 60, slide right to the bumps.
Amazingly, Solberg even manages to win the stage. The rally is his, and so is his first world title.
Go to the control, man.
Petter, what an amazing result.
Who is world champion?
You are!
Yeah!
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. Seriously, it's indescribable.
You're lost for words. For once in your life, you're speechless.
It's not often, but sometimes, like now, I don't have any words. It's so much for me, and I dream in cars since I was 6 years old. I haven't done anything else, and things just work out like this.
He's going to get out of the car. This is very, very Petter. All his team have arrived. And it's just going to be a bum fight behind me. All the guys from Rally Tyres, all the team bosses. Petter does like to throw himself about. Have a look down there. He nearly did a diving earlier. He likes to enjoy himself. This is fantastic for the sport. To see a driver enjoy success like this is absolutely the best result we could have dreamed of.
David, I want to kiss you. No.
For co-driver Phil Mills, this has got to be just as rewarding. What else can we or do we need to say about Petter? Incredible scenes and a fitting end to what's been an amazing championship. For the record, here's how they finished the Wales Rally GB. And this is how the championship wrapped up. Solberg wins by just 1 point over Loeb. In the battle for the Manufacturers' Championship, well, Citroën reigned supreme in their first full WRC season, breaking Peugeot's 3-year stranglehold on the title. Just to emphasize that this is a team sport, the Inmarsat star of the rally goes to old Golden Boots, Tommy Mäkinen. Even though he's been in a desperate battle for a podium finish on his last ever rally, yesterday he went out of his way to help Solberg. Tommy used wet weather tires to test their effectiveness in the Welsh forest, just in case Petter needed them.
Some bubbly. I'm sure you'll be drinking a lot more than just one bottle.
I think I keep half a bottle of it for Petter today.
A tremendous gesture by Tommy Mäkinen as the entire Subaru team pulled together to win this championship. With the official victory celebration underway, Nicky Grist and Penny Mallory, I'm sure you have more on how this season unfolded.
Well, what a thrilling end to the 2003 World Rally Championship. And Nicky, when you look back over the year, really you could say that the older drivers, Colin McRae, Tommy Mäkinen, start to bow out. We are seeing a whole new generation of driving talent, aren't we?
Well, we are, and although Carlos Sainz is going to stay with us for another 12 months, even he has handed in his retirement and said that 2004 is going to be his last year, so the new school are definitely in.
Now let's run over the guys that have won a lot of rallies this year. Marco Martin's won a couple, Petter's won 4, and Sebastian's won 3. Those young guys are really taking all the wins.
No, they are, and they've driven exceptionally well. I have to say I feel sorry for Sebastian Loeb, because I think that he's one driver who's really come on the most, and who's been more than any a quicker learner than Petter, because really when you look back over the years, he's the guy who's got more experience in competitive cars.
I know his learning curve has been enormous, particularly with GB. You realise his best ever finish was 15th. He could have won this rally if Citroën hadn't put the pressure on him to win the manufacturer's title.
I know, I think it was definitely premature giving those orders out, and then they had a new set of team orders this morning to tell Colin to back off and allow Sebastian to go for it. I mean, it just didn't make sense.
I know, Sebastian's driven remarkably well, but don't forget the other drivers, Richard Burns, Marcus Gronholm. A lot of people had their money on them at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I have to say that I think that was a fair bet. I mean, certainly Marcus Gronholm, but you have to argue that maybe Peugeot were perhaps losing it a little bit, and when it comes to Marcus Gronholm, he's made a lot of mistakes, and he certainly crashed out on this event very early on, and he had this thing in his pace notes.
Now, we're saying goodbye this year to 2 rally legends, aren't we, who had the most amazing battle here in GB.
Yeah.
Colin McRae, Tommy Mäkinen, sport's going to miss them.
Yeah, I think so. But when you've got such great stars coming up through the ranks, I think it's a matter of time that really these guys are going to take over anyway. It's only because people are used to it.
But the guy who won the World Rally Championship is the guy who won more rallies this year than anyone else. That's the way it should be, isn't it?
Yes, you can argue that, although when you work out his points, he's only averaged just over 5 points per rally. So I think reliability would have won Richard Burns the championship if he hadn't dropped out a few times, but Petter's driven exceptionally well.
It has been one phenomenal rally season this year, has been amazing, but I would just like to remind Nicky and everybody that I was right. I said Petter Solberg will be world champion, and he is.
Good call.
Very good call, Penny. Thanks, guys. It has been a terrific season here on Speed. For Nicky Grist and Penny Mallory, I'm Ralph Shaheen. We'll leave you with memories of this World Rally Championship season. So long, everybody.
Shot ball next, 4.